Oh, we are not even close to done. You catch me dancing there on camera? Good morning to you, and welcome to NFL Draft Kickoff presented by Lexus. My name is Andrew Siciliano, and we still have, let me check, 149 selections and 4 rounds to go. Coming up, everything you need to know about day 3 of the 2020 NFL Draft. But let's look back at night number 2, which had plenty of wow moments, perhaps none as big and none as loud than when the Eagles handed the 53rd card into the commissioner, and it had the name of that man. Quarterback Jalen Hurts, formerly of Oklahoma, before that at Alabama. Jalen Hurts is going to Philadelphia.
I'm so excited to be an Eagle. Put my hat on, ready to get with the guys, ready to be in Philadelphia, ready to go to work. Also ready to try them Philly cheesesteaks, the real ones. Let's get it. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Just from me, Jalen, don't use the cheese whiz. Use the real cheese, please. I hope Carson Wentz feels the same way. He did tweet, big open arms, welcome to the best football city in America, brother. So he seems to be taking this well. Doug Peterson, tell me why you did this.
With Jalen Hurts, I mean, he has a unique skill set, and you see what Taysom Hill has done in New Orleans, and how he and Drew Brees have really have a connection there and a bond there. And you even look at when Flacco and Lamar in Baltimore for the short period of time, how they gelled together. It's just something we're going to explore.
They're going to explore having a backup quarterback taken in the second round. Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo. Look, I love the thing. I think it's perfect. I don't know if he's Taysom Hill, more on that in a second. But Garafolo, why are people in Philadelphia up in arms over this?
Well, they're up in arms with you right now because it's whiz wit for the cheesesteaks.
Why?
And listen, John's Roast Pork, that's not a paid sponsorship. It's just experience, Jalen. Listen to me. Okay, now, back to the quarterback thing. People are up in arms because they're looking at it saying, there's a second-round pick. Why don't we get something that could help us out right away? But the Eagles are saying nothing helps you out more than being set at the quarterback position. Howie Roseman last night called it the most important position in sports. And when they looked at their board, they said, okay, we could take, a running back, a safety, or something like that. Will that really have the impact for us over, say, the next 4 years that Jalen Hurts, who could play a Taysom Hill role while he develops behind Carson Wentz, and by the way, could be available as a quarterback for us if we need him in a big game, the playoffs last year, okay? And then they also said if we get a backup quarterback we can trust on a rookie contract, that gives us more money to spend elsewhere on the roster, which Eagles fans are complaining about this morning. They want help elsewhere on the roster. Well, this might actually allow for that and some stability at the quarterback position. So that's the Eagles' thought process. And Ian, I kind of like it.
Yeah, if you think this is a wasted pick, if you're an Eagles fan, we really wish we would have gotten a guard or whatever you might have gotten here if the value had added up. If you're going to waste a pick, quote unquote, doing it at the quarterback position is probably the best option here because, first of all, you're going to have a second quarterback on the game day roster. This is a spot that's going to be active. So now Jalen Hurts likely going to be active. At least there's a contribution. But the best case scenario here is that he only really makes a minimal impact and he only becomes Taysom Hill. Because that would mean, obviously, that Carson Wentz was healthy, took the team to the playoffs, and you never needed him. If Carson Wentz goes down, and we have seen him, unfortunately, suffer a lot of injuries in his career, having a highly talented, high-character second-round pick who could come in, play quarterback, who has done it at the highest level, that's really not a terrible option for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we've also seen really good franchises do this in the past. Obviously, with the Packers, we talked about it. A little different situation with Aaron Rodgers, Favre, all of that. So the Patriots do this with Jimmy Garafolo. Barely played for 3 years. Then they got a second-round pick back for him from the 49ers. If that happens, that would be okay.
You don't often see a team turn in a card for a quarterback, 53rd overall, when that quarterback they have starting is getting $39 million in a cash payout this year. That's what Carson Wentz is getting. Here's Wentz's injury history. Now, it says he didn't miss a game last year, but he was concussed in the playoff game, the loss to Seattle at home in Lincoln Financial Field. And Bucky Brooks and Charles Davis, as much as I love high school coach Josh McCown, he's one of my favorite players of all time. I would argue, Bucky, that if you had Jalen Hurts in that game, Jalen Hurts comes off the bench and he beats the Seahawks and he gets you to next week for maybe Carson Wentz's return.
Hey, look, I love this pick, and I want people to really understand the philosophy behind the pick. Howie Roseman let us know. He said, we, for better or worse, are quarterback developers. We want to be a football factory. And this goes back to my time with Doug Peterson when we played together with the Green Bay Packers under Mike Holmgren and Ron Wolf. What they always did, every other year they brought in a young quarterback because the quarterback position is the most important position. And if you develop a young quarterback who plays a little bit and teases outsiders, you now have the opportunity to draft, develop a future starter, draft and auction them off to bring back valuable assets. So there's no downside to this move. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are being proactive, and because we are too often caught up in draft picks and what could be, we can't realize the wisdom in what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing by investing in a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts.
And Bucky, isn't it nice that we actually had a few hours before we had to come on air and talk about this? Because last night they were sending out messages in Philadelphia for everyone to meet by the Rocky statue so that they could march on Howie Roseman's home because people were very upset, up in arms. You heard Mike Garafolo talk about it. Ian's talked about it. We understand that. But here's the deal. Number one, we keep saying Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill runs 4.4. Taysom Hill is a gunner on punt team. Taysom Hill's returning kicks. He's running down and covering kickoffs. Jalen Hurts isn't doing that. Jalen Hurts is going to add to your offense, give you extra options, a second thrower on the field when you have him. You can do things that way. But this Taysom Hill thing, we need to pump the brakes on that. This is not what that's going to be. You're not going to see Jalen Hurts on special teams. This is just adding to the offense. But I understand why they made the move for the backup quarterback. McCown, Andrew's favorite, he'll probably be gone. Nate Sudfeld, they thought was going to be their answer last year, broke his wrist in the first game of the preseason. They could carry 3. Sudfeld could be the 2. Hurts could be the guy who could be the gimmick change-up guy until they get comfortable because you can use him more that way if you know you've got a backup quarterback in case Wentz goes down, and then you bring him in and make him the number 2 guy. So I understand the logic behind it. I get it. I can't wait to watch it go. But let's pump the brakes a little on Taysom Hill because he's not going to do all those extras that Hill has been doing. And by the way, Andrew, it's with Wiz. Come on, man.
Oh, no, it's the Wiz. It's like, use real cheese, please. Jalen Hurts, 38-4 as a starter. He is a quarterback, but he can also move. 20 touchdowns on the ground last year, and he did run 4.59. But I'm with both of you. He's a quarterback and a valuable backup, one they needed. Before we look ahead to day 3, let's back up and look ahead to night 2, Friday night.
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open. With the first pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Joe Burrow.
To jump up to number 1 overall, it's a dream come true.
With the second pick, Chase Young.
This kid is incredible, a great pickup for this football team.
With the 5th pick, Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback. The Los Angeles Chargers select Justin Herbert.
Size, athletic ability, and ball skills. Tremendous talent there.
This guy can run with anybody.
He's athletic. He's versatile.
With the 15th pick, Jerry Jeudy.
This man is a touchdown machine.
The Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love.
The competitiveness and the toughness with him is what jumped out to me.
That brings us to the conclusion of round 1 of the NFL Draft. Welcome to the second night of the 2020 NFL Draft. With the 33rd pick, T. Higgins. The Detroit Lions select DeAndre Swift.
This is a first-round player. He's got out.